Welcome back, everyone. This is Nate from Nate's Here and There. I am coming to you from Green Lawn Cemetery here between Landis, North Carolina and China Grove. It's kind of in between. Let me show you how big this thing is. Oh, this thing is huge. There's 3 churches out here too. I mean, this thing is gigantic. And also, I have a Patreon page that you can go get signed up over there. If you want to see 3 or 4 parts of this cemetery, I will take requests over there. So go get yourself signed up over there on Patreon. I do have a PayPal and a Cash App in the description of the channel. So if you would like to donate, please consider donating. Also, like, share, comment, and subscribe. So with all that said, sit back, grab a chair, sit back on this day the Lord has made, and enjoy. The first one I walk up on too is Ida Sutton Hill, 1898 to 1980. Samuel C. Hill, 1895 to 1961. And this is Ray Bernard Hill, 1925 to 1986. Sue Simpson Hill, 1924 to 1989. Here's Avi Price, Walters, 1910 to 2000. James Bundy Walters, 1907 to 1993. And they were married on November the 28th, 1924. And here's the first military I come up on, Richard Arthur Sketter, Private First Class, U.S. Army, World War II, 1922 to 1977. Thank you for your service. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I give the military a tribute. So don't click off the video. I'm just giving the military a shout out. Kind of like a moment of silence. And I forgot to say this too. Also, at the very end of the video, I do a tribute also at the very end. I will take pictures of all the tombstones in the military. And I'll go through and I will post it at the very end. So stick around for the tribute video at the very end. Here's James A. Andy, 1948 to 2003. They deal. And Louise Morse Deal, 1946. I don't think she's passed away yet. And they were married on December the 13th, 1970. And here's James R. Safrat Jr., Private First Class, U.S. Army, World War II, 1920 and 1984. Thank you for your service. Here's Jeannie Lance Safarat, Corporal, Women's Corps, World War II, 1921 and 2018. Thank you for your service, ma'am. Here's Jerry Williams Archie, 1948 to 1970. 1943, I'm sorry. 1943. Here's Caroline Elizabeth Archie, 1939 to 1971. It says just sleeping. Earl Levy Archie, 1915 to 1995. It's Connie Albright Archie, 1915 to 2003. Here's the oldest one I found. Oldest thing. Archie Walker, Richard Walker, 1819 to 1904. Here's Margaret C. Walker, 1847 to 1929. And here is Henry C. Walker, 1845 to 1923. Here's James Franklin Boston, 1880 to 1942. Athy Maudie Cook, 1882 to 1942. And Lula Grace, 1916 to 1982. Here's Lawson Boseman, 1858 to 1936. This is Laura, the wife of Lawson Boseman, 1845 to 1900. Here's Joseph Lee Walker, 1870 to 1961. And Lula Ray. It's the only thing I can see. Really can't see anything on this one but the name. Here's John Millis Patterson, U.S. Army, World War I, 1892 to 1990. Thank you for your service. Here's Miss Edna Sloop Patterson, 1898 to 1970. Helen Estelle Patterson, 1929 to 2022. And here's Joel Courier, 1921 to 2015. Louise Wilson Courier, 1924 to 1999. And here's Mike Ricci Sr., 1950 to 2011. We love and miss you. He was a fisherman. And here's Roselle Ritchie, 1922 to 1954. There's Robert Eugene Kirk, 1924 to 2004. Catherine Courier. She has not passed away yet. Here's Daniel Joel Kirk, 1966 to 1991. Our beloved son. I wonder if that's... be willing to guarantee you that he's kin to this family I just did. Billy Dean Courier, 1936 to 2018. Jeanette Holsclaw, 1937. And they were married on August the 16th, 1958. And here's Grace Summerall Courier, 1928 to 2015. Margaret P. Goodman, 1930 to 1975. And this was his wife. Married on February 15, 1947. Here's James W. Metcor, 1916 to 1998. Also, he was in the Navy. Thank you for your service. Here's Minnie O. McCoyer, 1916 to 2008. Here's Marty E. Myers, 1904 to 1987. Oh, here's the Reverend G. Harold Myers, 1923 to 1998. Thank you for your service in the Lord. Here's Leroy A. Castor, 1922 to 2002. Margaret J. Castor, 1922 to 1991. I've always liked the praying hands on the headstones. And this is his wife, Aileen Leip Myers, 1926 to 2019. Thank you for your service in the Lord. And here's Lily B. Raymer, the wife of A.M. Raymer, 1892 to 1979. And here's Ammon M. Raymer, 1885 to 1958. Here's David Clyde Bates, U.S. Marine Corps, World War II, 1915 to 1976. Thank you for your service. And here's Paul Alexander Eford, 1859 to 1934. Minnie J. Beavard Eford, 1862 to 1923. And this is the children of Paul Alexander and Minnie Beavard. Ellen Beulah, 1882 to 1883. Sarah Jane, 1888 to 1893. Martin Alexander, 1892 to 1892. Alan Bruner, 1894 to 1896. Henry Wilson, 1895 to 1896. Twins of Carl Witz, 1897 to 1897. Susan Verney, 1899 to 1900. Ernest Lee, 1901. Died, that's the only thing that says died young. Lula Bell, 1908. Died young, that's the only thing it says. This is sad right here. I mean, this is extremely sad. Here's Arthur Eugene Lynn, North Carolina, Sergeant, 163 General Hospital, World War II, 1906, 1972. Thank you for your service. Here's James Andrews, Private First Class, U.S. Marine Corps, 1930 to 1977. Thank you for your service. There's Bobby Ray Turner, 1930 to 1967. I don't know what this one is. Infant son of Jake and Nanny Hodge, born in 1917. Here is Robert Harold Overcash, Sergeant, U.S. Air Force, Korea, 1929 till 1999. Thank you for your service. And here's Fannie Ruth Hodge, 1895 to 1974. Jacob Owens Hodge, 1881 to 1963. And here's Charles A. Sloop, 1849 till 1932. Rebecca Sloop, 1855 to 1924. And here's Virginia J. Patterson, 1882 to 1918. John Patterson, 1862 to 1927. Irene Christine Blackwell, the wife of J.W. Patterson, 1860 to 1934. Carrie Lee Patterson, 1887 to 1965. Mary Patterson Fisher, 1893 to 1973. Here's Alan Augustus Petra, 1852 to 1898. Mary Ann Crest, wife of Alan Petra, and Gustav A. Ketchy, 1861 to 1951. And here's the infant daughter of Alan and Mary Petra. And here is Robert Wilson Petra, 1885 to 1948. Carrie Halligig, wife of Robert Petra, 1889 to 1971. Cecil Augustus Petra, 1897 to 1987. Pearl Missenmingler, wife of Cecil Petra, 1898 to 1995. It's Holy B. Rogers, North Carolina Sergeant T4, World War II, 1920 to 2002. Thank you for your service. Here's Lonnie Thomas Latta, Sergeant, U.S. Army, World War I, 1894 to 1979. Thank you for your service. And here is the Reverend C.A. Rose, born 1857 to 1899. He was a minister of the Lutheran Church. Thank you for your service in the Lord. And this is his wife, Maria S. Patterson, 1858 to 1947. And here is Mary Rose, wife of C.H. Hall, 1891 and 1984. And here is C.H. Hall, 1891 to 1980. Here's Mary Rose Hall. Well, she died this year, 1931 to 2003. Oh, she was a daughter of the Revolutionary. That's what that plaque is. Here's Junius Rose, 1883 to 1943. Henry Grady Rose, 1894 to 1941. Charles Albert Rose, 1892 to 1911. Here's Simon Beaver, 1861 to 1921. Mary J. Beaver, 1859 till 1919. And Earl Coral, 1906, 1977. And Pauline Coral, 1906 to 2000. Here's Joel Gilbert Sloop. He was a company infantry 1843 to 1906. Thank you for your service. He was a private. Here's Archie L. Rogers, 1897 and 1974. Carrie H. Rogers, 1901 and 1982. And John L. Rogers, 1928. Here's Johnny L. Rogers, 1950 to 2001. Here's Betty Emmeline Settler, 1897 and 1990. Jesse Settler, 1899 till it was a baby, 1899. And Beulah Settler, 1891 to 1891. Here's Joel Collier, 34th Regiment, Infantry, CAA, 1836 to 1923. Thank you for your service. Here's Monroe Deal, 1866 to 1940. Robert Ray Blackwell, 1949 to 1951. Oh, he's a baby. Here's Amanda Catherine Stewart, the wife of Samuel Deal, 1847 to 1906. And here's Samuel Deal, 1830 to 1919. And here's William Stanhope Schulberger, 1841 to 1915. Company 6th Regiment, North Carolina, 1861. He was in the Civil War. Not dead, but asleep in death. He awaits Christ in the resurrection. Thank you for your service. Is Holly A. Deal, Private U.S. Army, World War II, 1922 to 1994. Thank you for your service. Here's Hattie Turner Cato, 1909 to 1988. And Janet C. Deal, 1927 to 2018. Here's Julia Cavan, wife of J. Lee Schudenberger, 1861 to 1947. Their son Frank, 1895 to 1899. This is Margaret N. Beaver, 1874 to 1947. John A. Sides, 1871 to 1943. Here's J. Lee Schutenberger, 1844 to 1918. His wife Lena, 1851 till 1889. Here's William R. Yost, 1886 to 1965. Mammy Tartan Yost, 1886 to 1953. William A. Blackwelder, 1857 to 1939. His wife Catherine, 1860 to 1944. Somebody's been out here pretty recently too. And that's going to do it for this one. We walked around Green Lawn Cemetery in between China Grove and Landis, North Carolina. If you want to see a part 2 or part 3, please go get signed up over at my Patreon page, and I'll take requests over there. That's going to do it for this one. Be safe. God bless. We'll catch you on the next one. Remember to let go and let God. Bye now.